Heading out today from Rosebud as we launched about 5:15. The sun was just coming up. There's the Rosebud Pier on the right and Arthur's Seat, Shane's Light on the left, and that's Andrew just slightly behind us. Conditions weren't perfect, wind against tide and a fairly reasonably strong northeasterly wind. Made a little bit lumpy, but we had to fish the tides. A little bit later on the sun came up, conditions still weren't great, the wind had started to slacken off a little bit. Shane and Andrew on the left. On the way out we trialled some lures looking for fresh bait, managed to pick up a few small barracuda between 30 and 50 centimetres and a couple of small salmon around about the 25 centimetre mark. So perfect start today with fresh bait. We then kept going and anchored up in about 11 metres of water, so we crossed the shipping channel at 18 metres and fished this fairly steep bank where it drops down from 6 metres down to 18 metres. That's Shane anchored up in about 14 metres. Probably a good hour later, before we had our first good solid run, I've got a couple of 5/0 circle hooks that had a whole squid on that had lost the bottom half of the squid, and I'd replaced that with a fresh fillet of cuda, and yeah, had a good hit. Played the fish for a while, and you guessed it, line snapped. Unusual for braid, but the braid seemed to have frayed. Probably 15 minutes later, I then had a really good run on the heavy rod. This was rigged with a whole salmon we'd caught on the way out. The rig was a 7/0 circle hook through the tail of the salmon, and had a wide trace, 80-pound Black Magic fluorocarbon leader and 80-pound mono. Unfortunately, after the first couple of runs, the fish managed to pick up the line that was sitting next to it, which was the 30-pound braid. It was a good fish. I wasn't in a rush to bring it in. The current was still flowing reasonably well, so it was giving the fish a lot extra weight, and we just toughed it out for a while. Thought it was time to start clearing the decks as best I could and get some of the gear out the way for when it got closer. You can see here, even after 10 minutes, I'm trying to get the fish back in. But once I stop winding, you can see the line still running out. And if you watch the level wind on the reel, you can still see it going backwards and forwards across the reel. So now it's probably time to untangle it and try and get some control back in the situation. As I'm trying to untangle the line, I suppose the worst thing you can do is take mono to a braid fight, and the braid won, lost the fish. Shane managed to land his 7 gill a few minutes later, and we headed back in once the tide stopped and fished the Rosebud reef. Managed to trial up quite a few fish on the hard bodies, including a couple of 70 centimetre pike. This one was interesting because when I got it to the side of the yak, I observed that there was another pike swimming directly underneath what I'd hooked. Anyway, a quick fight, got him to the side, let it go. So all in all, it was a great day, great variety of fish. Keen to head back there again and find the ones that got away. Hope you enjoyed the video.